Alright guys, it's another Gundam match, this time with the boy Chozo going with green-white wing. Just testing it out and all that good stuff, and me playing the same green-red wing version. But we're going to go ahead and show you some of the gameplay here, and I will point out some of the plays that I thought about in my head here while I was playing it. So we're going to go ahead and Chozo starts off first. Basically, I think we're on turn 1, now turn 2 for the both of us. I basically sit here and go, I want to do early right now, so we kind of go ahead and manipulate the level right here to go into level 3, get the EX resource right back, so it's essentially like playing it bird mode for 2 and keeping the resource. So this is pretty good on the earlier version of the crackback. Now I did make a giant misplay here. I completely forgot that Hero is a level 4 pilot and not a level 3 pilot. That would be kind of cracked, and proceeded to try to attack. I just remembered, I think I remember like about maybe a minute later that I had to be a level 4, and I was like, oh wait, we fucked up. So you know, the game's progressing. I thought I did some super crazy shit just now with, oh yeah, I'm gonna fucking pop off, but that was not the case. And I realized it upon his turn 3 where he had the EX resource, and I was like, damn, he can do the level 4 pilot. Yeah, okay. And we're like, wait a minute, because he's asking right now, like, okay, so how did you play Hero and you were at level 3? And I was like, you know what? You are absolutely correct. Now that I think about it, that was too good of a play, and that was too early. You are absolutely correct. This goes back over here. And I was like, and you now have card information because I just showed you too early. That's crazy. So here's what we're gonna do. It's like this goes back to my hand. I get the EX resource back, and the shield is still not cracked yet. So. And then I was explaining, now you can actually do what I just did if you want to. That is well within your right, because you do have if you do have the Hero, then that's the thing. So yeah, just go ahead, put the shield back, and they're like, okay, cool. Now that's a legal play I can do. I just completely forgot that that wasn't how that worked exactly. I forgot that it was a turn behind, essentially. But yeah, wasn't too bad. So we're just gonna go ahead and play the Buster Gundam. Again, this is the earlier version of the deck. Basically, Buster gives the support +3, and then I'm still gonna go ahead and do this since this was the original play I was gonna do anyway. It's just I did it a turn earlier. So yeah, I'm like, okay, cool. Yeah, it's just Buster Gundam. Show you what the effect is for support and all that, and go ahead and just crack the shield anyway. And then proceed to tell them let's go. So we're basically both sitting on EX resource with because of the bird. Bird is very powerful right now, especially with the early stages of how Gundam is going. I don't see it going and dropping down anywhere close to, unless something better comes out, I don't see it dropping down to anywhere near like a lower form of this. Ooh, yep. Pop out with the Chang Hufei. We go early Chang here. Turn 4 Chang is kind of stupid, especially if you can get off and just go in on somebody, right? Now the reason why this is kind of dangerous though is because of Chang just so happens to be a 6'5" currently, and if I didn't equip the Hero right there, then I would have been in trouble, because basically would have been able to just splash over my guy and essentially would have just taken massive damage. Now, what I was telling him was it's probably better to go into the unit, because since you're playing Breach is a really good effect, especially when you're destroying a unit. It's easy to the unit destroyed, so Breach gets it, right? And as I was telling him, like, hey, you might want to swing into like Bird before it becomes a problem. And I can see where his lineup play was at this point in time. For the most part, I was like, okay, well, and I was like, all right, look. So for this, you definitely want to go into is like, because that's not going to be enough to crack the shield, so you're wasting an attack, and you'd be better off basically swinging with like a trade into breach. And I wasn't baiting him, I was just saying this is like the best play currently, because you either can swing for the heavy 6 for free into that, causing me to deal with the Shenlong, or you can take out my guy, still catch the breach, and still get the attack off. But I understand if he didn't want to like lose the unit, but sometimes that's how card economy works in this game. And he's a really smart guy, so he catches on with how he's going to go about doing it. So this is also a good play as well. There's no wrong play here. It was a good play because of the fact that he could either hit the full 6 into the shield, or he could go ahead and take my guy out, leaving me not with an attacker and leaving me to try to catch up off of like source and base economy and all that. Because essentially you're looking at this board with like, how do I get around this? Or you can flip it on your opponent and force them to figure out how to get around your problem. It's like, okay, I get it, that is going to be a problem, but this is going to be a bigger problem for you later on in the game because I have breach. So you can continuously keep trying to attack me, or I can just go ahead and clap you out in a certain amount of time, just depending on how long you want to leave Shenlong on the board. So I'm like, okay, well, you know what? I'm going to go ahead and take the initiative to, like, I'm trying to figure out whether I want to just play something first, or if I wanted to go ahead and attack first, get the guys off the board, or get like shields down to a lower stance and then do it. So I played my own Shenlong here and crack to go into Chang Wufei. This is very good to clean up on like small blockers and on like little chumps. So we go ahead, I swing, I don't take any damage from that because it's 2, and then I breach for 4. So free shield back, doesn't do anything. And then I'm deciding, do I hit for another shield here, or do I go ahead and get rid of the threat that's on board present? And what we're doing here is, I guess we're going to go ahead and I decided I'm swinging into his Shenlong to get the threat off the board, because Shenlong breach is very, very dangerous. It's a weird crackback. And then instead of using the support, I just go ahead and use that as an attack, since there's no base to keep him from, you know, having a useless attack. And then with that, you know, we start up with, I believe this is, yeah. So it's his turn, draws card, looking before he does the resourcing. Now keep in mind, this is turn 4 for the both. Well, going in his turn 5. This is turn 4 for the both of us. But like with the EX resources, you're able to ramp into bigger, stronger dudes quicker, and it makes like all your 4s and 5s and stuff seem very minuscule for payment, especially if you have like an EX resource or you're ramped up already, because that just equals so much more playability. Not exactly sure what's in the hand, so we're just gonna go ahead and see what he does. Plays the wing 0, or he goes and plays wing with the breach 5, and currently at a 7/7. So he goes ahead and decides to attack Buster, breach 5. I take the damage. He takes 1. It wasn't a bad play at all. He got a unit off the board. Honestly, I would have went for the bigger threat. I would have went for Shenlong. Shenlong, essentially, this builds it to where Shenlong has to be dealt, or you kind of have to start dealing with like the medium slash bigger bodies first before you start dealing with like the little chump guys. And I get it, just wanted to take the 1 damage, but I'm doing, like, I can kill this, but I decided I'm gonna go for the shield because I can kind of ignore it for a little bit up until a certain point. So we're going ahead and just kind of gonna go aggro into the shields. And with that, after my attack, I go ahead and proceed to do, I wouldn't necessarily say it was a bait, it was more so of like, if Wing stays on board, my plan here was to go ahead and get some damage off on it, and then go into getting a free breach off of it. But, you know, I think he saw through that plan for the most part, and was like, oh, he's breaching, okay, so his guy is currently at 6 HP. So there's a lot of math that goes around into the play of this stuff, especially if you're looking on board currently and you see that like Wing's at 7-6. So if you're knowledgeable about certain cards, there is a card called Battle of Aces that if one of your enemy units has a damage on it, you go ahead and ping it for 3 instead of 2, making it a very strong 2-drop, especially during action. So he decides he's going to attack my unsuspended guy. Makes sense. I activate the Battle of Aces. Battle of Aces, since he has a damage on it, it does 3 more damage to it. So it goes down to 3 HP. So attacking it into Aegis. I was already going to do this anyway, if it was on my turn, but it worked out the way it did. He still gets the breach. Breach smacks. He has nothing for me to burn on the board for close combat, so just kind of misses his target. And yeah, plays well, he knows what Shenlong does, but I think he might have misplayed here. So that's a level 2 blocker. And Shenlong's effect says when he's attacking, he can destroy a level 3 outright. It's not ping damage or anything like that. It's just outright swinging. So he's a pretty good chump destroyer, especially like with like stuff like Zoward and stuff like this. And he initially did this to keep it from being like ran over super easy, or I was gonna take heavy damage from the fact that I'm pretty sure that gives like plus on the AP as well, so I can't just swing. Initially, I'm pretty sure he thought about the fact that it was like, okay, cool, swing over this, and I still do damage to it, but I'm using the attack effect. Anything that has blocker on it that's level 3 or lower gets destroyed automatically. He's thinking about it, and he's like, oh yeah, that's not bad. And then attack into shield. Shield was a path of victory or defeat. Counter resources, you got to make sure you have resource up and all that. Decided since I'm a little bit ahead, I'm going to go ahead and put a base up, kind of evening out life here, but at the same time I have protections. And I think I just needed a card at that point. Like, I just wanted to see if I was going to get like another pilot or unit or something. This card is actually really good. I do love this card. I would suggest probably doing like a 1 or 2 of. Honestly, it's a good card, especially if it gets hit in burst. You get an EX resource, so you're kind of 2 turns ahead if you can make something of it. And then I decided to use the card that I pulled out of the shields, which is Path to Victory or Defeat. And I'm just looking for pretty much anything, right? And it's kind of funny here because I believe once I get the Death Sight, he's like, you got the duo? I was like, yeah. And then I'm like, place these at the bottom, and he's like, do you have the duo in your hand? And I was like, yeah, it's right. So basically I was going to essentially I was gonna ramp into some crazy stuff, and then he just shows me the pilots, and I was like, oof. But yeah, that was a good game. Just shows you all the burst power early game for like rushing and all that. So yeah, that's gonna be the video, and I will catch you on the next one. Peace.